All right, we're back today, and it looks like the clarity of the camera, the graininess has disappeared all of a sudden. So the last 2 days, I think it had something to do with the storm that affected the HD capacity. Nonetheless, looks like we're back again. So first, once you start in Matangi Mudra, interlock your fingers and extend the middle finger straight up. Right? And you can have it at your stomach and pointing straight ahead. Right. So this is the Matangi Mudra. It's also for the Manipura chakra, the third chakra. So this is where we're connecting the goddess of transformation. And you know that third chakra where the diaphragm is, that's always thought of as the shifting point from that which is conscious to that which is unconscious in the body. Because the breath is something that happens by itself when we're not paying attention to it. It's automated, and then we can interrupt it and consciously take it over. So this is where we're going to exchange and extend our willpower, the third chakra. And you could also call it the pitta, the fire quality. That's really going to give you energy, it's going to give you courage, it's going to give you perseverance. And you've got to stick with this, right, over a long period of time. At least that's what I'm pitching. Yeah? All right, also, anytime you're doing a hand mudra or a hand position, there's so many different names that they use in the Indian tradition. Rasayan Vigyan, the science of alchemy. You know, in alchemy, you're trying to change base metal into gold. So it's the same thing. How do we take our potential and churn it, like we said yesterday? So it becomes like the lotus flower. Beautiful up on top, fragrant, but also connected to the muck, the muddy base from which it grows. Okay? So why don't we start off just by closing our eyes for a moment and focus on the third eye, space between and above the eyebrows, which is what they call jyoti, where light is. And we're going to illuminate not only just the thinking part of our mind, but the intuitive part of our mind. Of course, to me, that is the image of the guru and the disciple, that the disciple is the do-it-yourself, practical, I got to think this through and work it out, and the guru is the intuitive side, already knows this, kind of just embodies it without having to think about it after years of practice. All right, so gently open your eyes again. So, one of my concepts, which is really practiced, is taken from my interpretation of Indian philosophy, is the purpose of yoga is to experience yourself as living spirit, embodied spirit. And in spirit, by definition, there is no lack. Or you could say the only thing that God lacks is limitation, and that's why he had to create something so that even that wouldn't be a sign of some kind of deficiency. By definition, God lacks nothing. Or you could say God has no desires like a human being. And why we desire things is because we want something. We think something is missing. We think things would be better if we had this. But when you're in spirit, by definition, it's a state of fulfillment. And according to the Indian tradition, remember, avidya is what's called ignorance. It's the first point from which things start to deteriorate. And because of the loss of direct experience of our own identity, our own cosmic source, we tend to then identify with the vehicle, right, the incarnated monad, right, whatever it is that our body seems to think is us. And then it gets so entangled with ahimsa, the sense of I, then the raga and the vesha, the wanting, the grabbing and the pushing away of stuff, and then the fear of death and clinging to life. These are all about body consciousness. But when you get into samadhi, the ultimate state of fusion, where consciousness becomes so one with its object that it completely obliterates any sense of identification, any sense of separate self, you're so absorbed, you totally merge, you totally blend with it, then any thought about who you are, who you were, or where you're going, it completely disappears, as if you didn't exist. So who is there to either be happy or sad, to desire or not desire, to measure what they're doing on the path and so forth? Doesn't exist. So, in some way, our personal identity is what we're trying to erase during our practice, even though when our eyes are open, all right, we have to be in our incarnation. We choose to be in our incarnation. So let's see how we do that. Continuing with our lunar cycle, today we're adding Anuloma, open nostrils, So we're going to do a few continuous breath cycles first in Ujjayi to get us going. So simply in and out. And because we're working on the lunar cycles, we're going to start to make the exhale longer than the inhale. So take a deep and quick inhale. And now exhale the breath. Definitely longer than the inhale. All right. So you're on your own for a few cycles. Simple Ujjayi breathing. Just get in touch with where you are today, what you're bringing to the practice. So the first few breaths are open nostril inhale, open nostril exhale, and that's where we are. My teacher says a beautiful analogy. It says, just like a mother draws a child to herself, so the inhalation is like the mother asking the child to come to her. And then the exhalation is the mother lets the child go. It follows it and protects it, but it lets it go. So the exhale is the releasing of the breath. The inhale, you're filling yourself up, and the exhale, releasing the breath. So embrace that part of yourself. All right, now, next cycle. We're going to do interrupted exhales. So you take your breath in, and now Viloma 2, open nostril. Exhale a bit. Wait. Exhale again. Wait. Exhale again. Wait. Exhale again. Wait. And continue at your own pace. Ujjayi inhale. And then interrupted exhale for a few cycles. Again, beginners, feel free to take restorative breaths in between the cycles. You don't want to create any kind of anxiety or pushiness, right? One of my main mantras is pranayama is the ultimate in non-aggression. Force nothing. All right. So now notice what happens when you consciously interrupt the exhale. All the Viloma techniques enable you to take a deeper inhale or a deeper exhale. And then we're using this in lieu of continuing to get rid of more exhale, eliminate, shed, get rid of, let go. Creating smoothness and balance, always you give precedence to that. Length and depth happen over time. Now remember, when you're doing the exhale, there's no sudden collapse in the spine, right? The lift of the chest is one thing, and then you create that deeper lift from the lower spine. Get it up there. And then do your Jalandhara Bandha. Don't harden the front of the throat when you drop your chin. All right, after you finish the next segmented exhale, you can take a restorative breath now. And then seamlessly move right into left nostril inhale, right nostril exhale. So raise the hand, block the right, open the left, and breathe in. And block the left and open the right, exhale. And continue in this manner, inhaling through the left, exhaling through the right. So this is what they call lunar breathing, or Ta, T-H-A breathing. Notice how shedding, getting rid of, letting go, emptying, how does that give you a feeling of happiness, peace, release? Always check your body posture, because if you inadvertently or unconsciously create tension, then any kind of contracting your muscles prevents you from understanding the importance of how does body posture relaxation help you take the next step towards pranayama. You don't want your attention constantly being captured by the tension in your body. See how the smoothness, quietness of inhale left, exhale right creates silence for your nerves, quietness for your nerves. And notice that the effect of pranayama is very different than the effect of asana, without in any way making a negative statement about asana's benefits versus pranayama's benefits. But it's just not a substitute for the benefits of pranayama. It's a different kind of energy, a different kind of feeling. All right. So now you're going to switch from inhale left, exhale right to inhale both, exhale right, inhale both, exhale left. Anuloma pranayama, against the grain. Always accenting on the increased exhalation. On your next cycle, let the navel come back. Raise the hand again. Wide nostril, open inhale. Block left, open right, exhale. Wide open both nostrils, inhale. Block the right, wide open left nostril, exhale. All right, you're on your own for the next few cycles. Really important to understand that when you work with your own life force, you develop the ability to project your own prana, transmit your prana in a healing way to other people. It's your own feeling rapport which brings you in direct relationship and sympathy with those who you want to heal, even at a distance. So you want to imagine your own prana passing through space like radio waves. Nothing obstructs this. Unless, of course, it's the doubt inside your own mind. So continue with inhaling both, exhaling right, inhaling both, exhaling left. And use the digital control to make sure that the nostrils are open evenly, even finger pressure. The dexterity and manipulation of the nostrils should be more weight on one side, less pressure on the other side. But like everything we do in yoga, how do you find perfect balance? And then there's the interesting interaction between letting it happen and making it happen, and knowing the difference between the two. A few more cycles, feel how the breath comes subterranean from deep in the pelvic floor, lower abdomen, floating rib cage, intercostals, all the way up to the collarbone armpits. And you're doing it on the back of the body as well as the front of the body. So now we're going to do one more cycle together. Wide nostril inhale. Block left, open right nostril, exhale. Wide nostril inhale. Block right, open left, exhale. Relax the hand. Do a few restorative breaths so you can assess where you are. And keeping the eyes closed, gently raise your head up and move your head slightly back in space on the medulla at the base of your skull. The center that controls oxygenation and respiration gets set. And then slowly, with a diffused gaze, open your eyes. Look peripherally first, and then centered gaze. All right, so we got our lunar cycle today, adding Anuloma. Tomorrow we'll be back to work on Viloma 2 and Chandrabedna and Anuloma again, but we'll be doing it with the partially closed nostrils. So practice between now and then. Have a great day. Stay safe.